If you're a skilled web designer pulling in $3,000 to $8,000 per project and you feel exhausted, the problem is not your design skills. And I know this because I built systems that took me from making $100,000 a year, working 14-hour days and weekends, to making over $200,000 a year, working 4 days a week, having my weekends back, and I did it all without becoming a better designer. What changed wasn't my tools or skills, but how I run projects. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 3 types of work that every web designer does, and how to optimize those so that you can build a premium web practice that makes you money without the burnout. So to understand this concept, I need to take you back to 2020. I was running my business and I was having the busiest year I'd ever had. Every client needed me. They needed updates to their website. Everything was timely. Everything was urgent. The pandemic changed things. And I was making more money than I'd ever made. But I was exhausted. I was run down. I was chasing after clients' requests. I was reacting to questions, reacting to emergencies. Every email seemed to have that urgent exclamation point in it. Something had to change. And I was at the point of quitting. In fact, I almost quit. For me, it was a turning point because I could no longer be flexible at the cost of my own sanity. And I realized this one truth: flexibility does not equal profitability. And a premium web designer must be profitable. So I began to work on a framework that would help me make $10,000 and more per project, help me manage clients, help me limit scope creep, and help me avoid the burnout that I was always dealing with for so many years. I'm Brian, and I've been building websites for over 20 years. I've earned over $4 million building websites over that time. But in the last 5 years, I've really learned that I wasn't running my business the right way. I was running it like a freelancer. And that's because I didn't understand and identify the 3 types of work that go into the day-to-day of a web designer. The first type of work is deep work. This is the work that actually directly pays you. This is the work that you do when you're deep in the project. You're designing, you're creating layouts, you're building sites, you're working in Elementor, you're focused, you're doing the work, you're getting paid. That's deep work. That's the work that we all want to be doing. The second type of work is directional work. This is important work, and you won't be doing this work every day. This is the work that relates to your business, your strategies, your ongoing learning. Maybe it's a book that you need to read. Maybe it's a lesson on a specific software that you've been trying to do. Maybe it's just accounting work. Maybe it's work that's just going to set you up for success later in the year. The next type of work is reactive work. This is the work that happens throughout the day. This is the work that comes your way when you least expect it. Client emails. A website goes down. A client can't open that PDF that you sent them. Oh, and that one last change that you know is never the one last change to the project. Reactive work is the work that often pulls you out of deep work. What became apparent in 2020 for me was how much reactive work was going on. Work that was pulling me out of deep work. Work that was getting me out of the mindset that I needed to be the designer for that moment. This work was killing my business. A good example would be you're working on a website design, you're structuring it out, you're creating the hero page, the hero section, you're building out the layout, you're thinking about how this copy is going to read on the page. And then as you're working, an email alert shows up and you can see in the little highlight that this is coming from a specific client. You know the client. And you say to yourself, I'm not going to answer that right now. I'm just going to stay working on this design. And you get back into it, but you're not there anymore. You're not in that deep work phase anymore. Your brain is not in the deep work zone. You've now gone into what's called context switching. So your brain is now thinking, while you're looking at this layout, your brain is now thinking, I wonder what they're asking me. I wonder if they've sent me the thing that they promised they would send me this week. I wonder if they're asking me again when this thing's going to be done. I wonder if. And now you're out of deep work mode. So you stop, you open up the email, and then you are into reactive work, right? You're like, well, now I have to respond to this email. Do I respond to this email now? Why are they asking me this again? I've talked to them about this. Why are we dealing with this? Reactive work is killing your productivity. But reactive work comes from one key problem. And I created systems and a framework based around this one problem that helps me charge more for websites, helps me limit scope creep, and helps me do more in less time and avoid burnout. And this channel is all about going from a stressed freelance web designer and developer to a premium web practice. If that's something you want to build, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.